Hey, She Slayers, and welcome to another episode of She Slays the Day podcast. I am your host, Dr. Lauryn Brunslick. So today's episode is part two, and I had to go back and re-listen to part one, which I usually never, ever do. I don't like. I am similar to you guys. You're like, oh, I don't like the sound of my voice. I don't like the ADHD of my voice. I've come to be okay with the sound of my voice, but when I go back and listen, and I'm like, oh my God, girl, can you finish a thought? So what I will say is today's episode is fantastic. I don't normally make a habit of splitting episodes into two, but after I recorded with Molly because originally this is actually me being on Molly's podcast, but we planned to co-share it. And I was like, whoa, there was stuff that came out of my mouth. Like when we wrapped recording, I was like, shoot, there was all these different parts of the journey, and I didn't want people to peter out. So that being said, when I went back to re-listen, I need to make sure that you listened all the way to the end of the episode, all the way that you didn't get to minute 35, hear the ads, and you're like, okay, that's good enough. So for those that did listen, I'll give you just a slight recap. If you didn't listen, my recap is not good enough. So go back, at least go to minute 40, 42 and listen to part one. So basically, the end of last episode, Molly asks me if now with nervous system regulation trending on social media, if I am super optimistic for chiropractic. And I say no. And I give my examples why. Basically, I'm just a negative Nancy. No, I had an episode. What was her name? Oh, I can't remember her name, but she was really cool. She was a military chick talking on bravery and leadership. And we talked about optimism versus pessimism. And here's the deal: I've never considered myself a pessimist. I always say I'm pragmatic, but she really broke down the difference of optimism versus pessimism. And optimism isn't just not acknowledging there's an issue. In fact, it's acknowledging there's an issue and creating a plan that this can change. We can improve upon the current situation. So although I said in part one, I was very pessimistic, I will not say I was pessimistic. I think these are conversations that we need to start having as a profession. I am so sick of people getting, and historically, I apologize for the men listening. I'm not calling you out. I'm calling other men out. Historically, I see very opinionated male chiropractors of a certain generation get on stage and just oversimplify. And I think that's what pisses me off is the oversimplification of what it requires to be successful. And there are so many people that are just drinking from that fountain. And I drank from it for so long. And it created a lot of narratives in my head around my worth, my practice's worth, when I would be worthy enough, when my practice would be worthy enough. And I think we can have honest conversations that do move us forward. And I think we can have honest conversations about simplifying chiropractic, but let's not lose the essence of simplifying, of oversimplifying what it takes to be successful. So go back and listen to that. Today, we kind of are continuing to move through social media. If you are new here and you're not a chiropractor, then welcome. My history is I am a chiropractor, but in general, this podcast is about exploring the trends that make all healthcare providers, dentists, vets, honestly, anybody who has to go into private practice, especially bored, broke, or burnt out. And so we get to talk about a lot of different things here. A lot of it is through my lens as a chiropractor. But one of the big reasons that we've broadened our spectrum in the last year is the number of non-chiropractors that have listened and gone like, this isn't unique to the chiropractic profession. Like this happens over in our profession as well. So welcome. That's the kind of shit we talk about today. And all episodes. So let's talk about Molly. So Molly Cahill, she's not a chiropractor. She's not a doctor of any kind. Oh man, what a negative way to start her bio. She's amazing. Molly is one of my good friends. But she's an Instagram marketing strategist and coach dedicated to helping health and wellness professionals enhance their online presence and attract more clients. As the host of the Holistic Marketing Simplified podcast, she offers actionable marketing advice tailored to holistic practitioners. With a background in medical sales and a degree in public relations, Molly combines industry experience with marketing expertise to support her clients. She also offers the Holistic Marketing Hub, a program that provides personalized coaching and resources for effective marketing strategies. Okay, again, if you're new here, before we kick into the meat and potatoes of every episode, we pray. We pray because I need this. Sometimes the prayers are good. Sometimes the prayers, God goes, yeah, it was okay. Oh, take a breath. This episode is releasing on Easter. Oh my gosh, if there was ever a time for me to be prepared to give a meaningful prayer, today would probably be one of them. But did I? No, I did not. So, dear God, thank you so much for the time that I get to spend with these people. God, I just pray like that you continue to use me as a conduit to deliver messages of alignment and awakening, and that we just continue to be able to evolve as a society towards progress, towards growth. And that should always be more conversations around acceptance, more conversations around enlightenment, personal growth, things that we can control versus that we can't, and just bring us closer to having a devoted life of being a loving person. In your name we pray. Amen. All right. Without further ado, I'm so sorry. I heard the message loud and clear. Y'all do not like when I make you wait. So I will not make a habit of it. But here is part 2, my conversation with Molly Cahill. Enjoy.
So let's bring this to something people can do like actionably from the brick and mortar standpoint, and then we'll talk.
Oh, you want a takeaway? You don't just want to like riff on our problems in life? You wanted me to teach, not preach?
No. Well, okay. This is why I always say what made me better as a marketer for chiropractors. It's because I come at things from like the layperson standpoint, and I know what my friends are saying, right? And so we have a client who, oh my God, I love her. She's great. She's brand new. Like she just graduated. And so I actually even used you as an example and Christy Wick. I'm like, look, Lauryn and Christy let me talk about things this way. Like, and they've been in the profession, because it's still very much that, like you said, like wanting your marketing to be like, we'll help with stress and we'll help you live your best life and we'll help you achieve vitality and we'll help you. So I don't know, maybe I'm just trying to lead you to be like, can you give people a permission slip to actually talk about the things that they're like symptoms and conditions? And I know it's not sexy. And I know I
can
think,
everybody legally?
You have to just be very careful. You have to kind of say like, patients in our practice report.
Yeah. I mean, so the thing is like, you almost have to. So like in this conversation of, so what I've complained about so far is that people don't know they need chiropractic. So one of the biggest things we have to overcome is changing their belief that they need chiropractic. So right now you have a small percentage of people, small, that are like, oh, my back hurts. I now need chiropractic. And so what we're trying to do is we're trying to be like, no, you need chiropractic all the time. Well, why? Okay. So then it's like, well, if you're not talking about, like, if you're not meeting them where they're at,
Yes.
where they're at is I'm constipated. You need chiropractic. Like, you're not sleeping. You need chiropractic. Your allergies are flaring up. You need chiropractic. So, like, that is kind of the job that you have to do if you want, like, nervous, like, we can't just go, like, hey, we balance the nervous system too. It's fantastic that there is, and I do think that, like, it would be good for us as chiropractors to start promoting research a little bit more of like,
I
did
agree.
you know that, like, I think nervous system is trending enough, but like, they're not going to flock to us. The next job now is like, okay, great. So their belief statement, some people's belief statement are changing of like, hey, did you know that we have like two modes, fight or flight, and that most of us are running in fight or flight all the time? And did you know that when that happens, you get things like POTS and sleeping disorders and digestive disorders? Did you know this? So I agree. They're waking up to that, but we still are going to have to cram, like, did you know that there was research done by Heidi Havoc that chiropractic actually helps regulate your nervous system? That we can help? That we can help?
Oh, I saw a rough situation of a chiropractor who went viral
Oh.
with a study that only had 35 people in it. And the comments were real bad. And it was saying like, I kind of don't want to say what it was because I don't want anybody to think I'm calling them out, but it was basically like your X more likely time to have sensory. I mean, your child is X more likely to have sensory processing disorder if you've had a C-section. And like, that was like, and then it cited a study with 35 people. And as moms, like, like one of my clients just had to have, she's the most functional medicine, chiropractic, whatever. She had to have a
I know
C-section.
multiple
Like,
chiropractors who had to have a C-section.
it doesn't mean anything about anyone. And the way
You think
the
that he or
intention of
she, was it a he?
yeah, the
I don't know.
intention.
I didn't see the reel, but I have guesses automatically who, I think that there are some chiropractors, everybody, not just chiropractors, that are doing that for the rage bait.
Yeah.
Like,
But
it's a growth technique.
yeah, but then I also think, I don't know, maybe I have different, I think it does more harm than good because it can also be like, oh, I don't know. It kind of makes people, but maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, I'm
Maybe
not
for as
saying it's
many.
good. Well, that's a big problem that we have, though, that, like, yeah, we don't have great studies. So, like, that's where you just get ripped apart, absolutely
Well, you
ripped
saw my
apart.
reel about how scientists don't quite know how Tylenol works. And like, that was like my most, everybody's like, you're a quack. I'm like, look at I'm not even a chiropractor. Like, I'm not even an acupuncturist. Like, I'm not even, I'm just, but it's just everybody wants everything to have these like double blind to see. I'm like, that's just
We don't
not.
have those for vaccines.
Well, and
Like, we don't have them for vaccines, but you're mad at me for talking about how chiropractic helps a headache.
we don't
Have
know
you
how
ever been
Tylenol works, but you're mad at me for talking about.
Yeah, I'm like,
I've seen 200 patients a week for 15 years, and this is what I have seen.
oh my God,
Like,
some troll on, so I posted a reel. All right. It was sassy. It was a sassy reel. I acknowledge that. But back in November, Thanksgiving, I posted a reel of me adjusting Kirby at Disney Tokyo. It was sad. Okay, the like caption of it wasn't bad, but like the hook was hooking. Like, it was a good hook. The
it was
hook
rage bait.
the hook was hooking. I knew what I was doing.
Sure.
So, like, it's like POV, my husband's so sad that he didn't marry a quote like real doctor to hand him a Tylenol when he had a headache. And so it's a video of me adjusting Kirby's neck at Tokyo Disney. And it's what's really funny is that nobody's been like, are you licensed to adjust in Japan? Like, I'm like, oh shit, I don't know. Actually not. Was that legal? Can you adjust your husband? But anyway, that thing is still going. Like, it's still going from like haters. I wake up every morning to about 3 to 5 comments that I just gotta
You're
like,
kidding.
no, I'm not. So at like 2 point, it slowed down for a long time in January, and I think it like hit a new thing. Because yeah, for the last couple of weeks, it's been like 3 to 5 comments a day. Just chiropractors don't practice medicine. Stick in your own lane. And I'm like, duh, like, God, what? You're missing the point. They're just, and like people just, they are like, oh, there's no studies. There's no studies. And it's like, you just have to change the belief of like, well, there's no studies over there, but it's just not accepted. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. I gave him help, didn't I? Did I give him a solution?
I don't know.
I think I did. You have to talk about symptoms. You have to, because that's what, if you want to change their belief that they need chiropractic, like that's just what you have to realize you have to do, I guess. So like, how are you going to do it?
Yeah.
Like,
And I think coming from the patient's point of view, I would say one thing that a lot of you probably hate to hear this. This probably makes you want to come punch me through the screen. But there's like a lot of validation that needs to happen during adjustments of like, oh, I can see why you like to you, you just feel it naturally, right? Like, I think there's some validation that needs to happen. Like, oh, I can feel why you've been having headaches. You just simply saying that to me while you're adjusting me, I can't even 10x is the likelihood I'm going
yeah,
to
I
come back.
think we forget that. Oh, we
Yeah.
forget that so much.
Yeah. So I hope that's helpful to people. And then also encouraging open communication, because me being like a people pleaser and not wanting to hurt anyone's feelings, I didn't do well with like a newer chiropractor with like a manual neck adjustment. And I had a headache for a few days. And so I could have just like never gone back. Right.
Mhm.
Instead, I was like, hey, I didn't do well with that. Can we try something different? And then ever
Mhm.
since, it's been great.
Mhm.
So I think you need to set that scene in the very beginning of like, hey, like the only way this is going to work is with open communication. You're not going to hurt my feelings because not every single person's body is the same and responds the same.
Right. Yeah,
Like I said, I know
absolutely.
that's hard when you're high volume and you're like, I know what I feel and I'm like, don't need to validate what I'm doing, but you kind of do, like I came to you and I'm like, hey, I can't poop. And then you're like, oh, I can feel why you don't probably
Mhm.
you're
Yeah,
what's
that's why I've yet to find a better tool than the insight scans. Like they're
Did you know I'm doing their consulting marketing for them? Instagram?
no,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. They just hired
Um,
me to do some consulting for their Instagram.
oh, that's fantastic.
I just had a scan done too. I was dealing with a hiatal hernia. Knock on wood, it actually feels okay today. And on my scan, that part of my scan was like totally
lit up like a
constricted.
Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Oh, it
So
went in. Okay, yep. So,
it was like a black line in. I'll have to show you. You know what I'm talking about?
I do.
So right there where my diaphragm.
Oh yeah. When the scans match, there's nothing better. Like it is just, it makes your life so easy to be like, oh, it is so fun too. It's so rewarding to be like, oh my God, this patient,
Yeah.
look at their scan. It matches. Because you like, you can't, what's harder is when the body doesn't comply with the sales technique that you want to take with a patient, where you're like, oh, I mean, I, as a neurological chiropractor, understand why the scan looks that way, but damn it, it's not easy to connect the dots.
Explain. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, it's great when it, and then also, I mean, you've got a lot of chiropractors that are like, they don't do care plans, which run your clinic how you want. But if you're going to give like twice a week for 3 weeks, that scan ain't going to do what you want it to do.
Well, and again, from my experience as a patient, I've had, I cannot tell you how many providers, not just chiropractors, but acupuncture, where just come back when you feel like you need it. That would be like,
I
that
know.
would literally be like one of you coming to me and saying, hey, Molly, I want you to do my social media. And me going, well, like, do you mean to just, how often do you want me to post? And you're like,
Yeah.
no, I'm hiring you to tell me how often to
Well,
post.
and then I go like, Molly, just go ahead and post whenever you feel like posting on my account.
Yeah.
You'd be like, what? It's not a
Yeah.
strategy.
And so we're coming to you for expertise, because then if I'm booking twice a week, I'm like, oh my God, am I being a hypochondriac? Do they want me in this often? Like,
Oh, right.
truly, these are the things that goes through the patient. I actually recorded an episode back in December that was like things I wish providers would do as like a patient. So I think it would be worth a listen.
Mm-hmm.
And I also recorded an episode on how to have like different brand personalities within one like clinic umbrella. Cause
Yeah.
I do want to get, I know we don't have much time left, but I want to get back to your personal brand thing because so I feel like, I don't want to poke holes in what you're doing because I think
No,
it's
go
amazing
ahead.
because you've clearly figured it out. But I feel like in 2020, there was this huge boom of online courses teaching you how to have an online course. And
Mhm.
all it did, and this is not, I know not what you're doing with your program,
Mhm.
but I feel like all it did was make people more frustrated because they were like, okay, where's this passive income everybody was promising me?
Yeah.
I built an
I was
ebook in
told.
Canva
Yes.
and no one's buying my ebook.
Yeah, because you did not nurture your audience. Like
Yes. So let's go
you
there
have
to close
to.
out this
Okay.
beautiful
Okay. Sounds good. So
episode.
there are two keys. Okay. Well,
I'm
first
putting
of all,
down my microphone, damn it.
okay. I was wondering if you were getting exhausted over there. I was feeling bad for you. I'm out of coffee. I'm sad, but so all right. So many things to say. So there's many, many, many influencers out there who have hundreds of thousands of followers and can't figure out how to sell to them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That is a real thing. Like
I
that
have
is just
two people who come to me specifically with over 100,000. They're like, I'm not making any sales.
yep. They and we won't go into like yeah, but so you do not need to go viral and get tens of thousands of followers in order to make money. So what happens is so many people do not start to take their social media seriously until because they're just like, well, I can't monetize at this level. So they do a crap job with building a community. And so because they're waiting, like, well, once I get, and I don't know what number it is in their head, it could be 500, it could be 10,000. I don't know what number. Everybody's probably got a number in their head that they're too embarrassed to start showing up like a real content creator. Like, oh, I only have this many followers. So, like, people are going to be like, who does she think? Like, people have weird ass narratives in their head. And so, what happens is they don't build any kind of community with engagement or trust. And so they're like, well, I don't want to act like a real content. So a real content creator who's focused on the end goal here of having an engaged community that is vetted and wants to buy from you. That's the goal here. That's what we're doing. We're using social media to sell something. Like that's what it is. So you don't start teaching and vetting that community and filtering through the community and being like, okay, that's not what we do here. You can unfollow. That's okay. We're looking to attract more of our people. We're looking to create engagement and authenticity and authority. But people are like, well, I only have 200 followers. Okay, well, and so like in their head, they're like not doing like you have to create engagement, authenticity, and authority. If you like, you can make tens of thousands of dollars with a 500 person following if you are building your community on those three things. But if you're not, which most people are like, that's not enough followers, like again, this is like, I know people listening are like, oh my God, she like got in my head where they're like, well, I'm not going to do a face to camera reel because like I only have this many followers. So people are going to be like, who does she think she is? And so they're like, think that they have this like issue in their head that people are going to think they're trying to become an influencer.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they're in their head. And the thing is there are going to be assholes out there who are going to go like, what's she trying to do?
That's
Look
cute.
at her. Look at her going face to camera. What oh, I see what you're trying to do. Well, they're not over there trying to do anything. Like they're over there not trying to do anything. So yes, there will be people. Most of them will not. Most are just so absorbed with their own life that they're not going like, oh, I see what you're trying to do. Most of the time, the people who can identify like, oh, I see what you're doing here are people who've had to do it and are proud of you. It's like, oh, so like I have so many Kairos, that I'm just like, will you please start taking this more seriously and monetize? Because I see you over there. I see you dabbling with this personal brand. I see you want it, but you're afraid. I see it and I won't call them out, but there's like multiple that I'm like, come on. And it's just they're afraid because like as soon as they start doing stuff, like we're gonna be like, oh, good, you're doing it. I see what you're gonna do. You're probably gonna like, you're probably building up to sell a course in like a couple months. That's fantastic. Look at you starting to build pre-launch like energy and engagement. I'm proud of you. But like other people who haven't done this, they might go like, oh, she's about to sell a course. And so what happens is you've got this thing that you don't do any of the necessary steps to get it in front of a community of vetted people who want to buy your thing because you're just too afraid of people being like, oh, she's trying to become an influencer. And it's like, no, you're not. Like, you're not. If you're like posting well, I don't know. I guess it depends on like what your niche is. But like if there's some things that are like, yeah, that is like, oh, you're trying to become like, but most of that stuff wouldn't be like in a pre-launch plan for vetting and building a community that's built on like engagement and vulnerability and authenticity and showing up in your DMs and solving people's problems. Like, yeah, people are just like, oh, people are going to think I'm trying to become an influencer. And it's like, are you? Like, are you trying to become an influencer? I know
there's like the definition, but we're all influencers too. Because it's
exactly
like,
that's the thing is like,
where'd you get those pants? Oh, I got them back, whatever.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. People are just so worried about like, oh, if I drop the Amazon link in my stories to this whatever I bought, like just do it.
Yeah,
just post it.
You're saving me having to sort through 1,000.
And what that does, so like I'm the queen of unsolicited advice. And so some of these chiros that I was talking about that I've been like stalking and being like, will you please just do something with this brand? Like, please. I'll see them post. So this is a good if you're multitasking, pay attention. I'm about to give some actual advice and not just complain. Okay. So one of the baby steps that people start doing when they're like tiptoeing, they're like playing with the idea of maybe I have a following that maybe would care someday, is they'll talk about products that they like. Now they won't, most of the time at this point, they're not saying like, hey guys, I just bought this water bottle. It's got a great straw. I love it. They're not doing any of that. Most of the time, how this shows up is you'll just see a picture. Oh, well, my damn green screen's ruining that. You'll just see a picture of said water bottle. Their face isn't in it. And they'll just be like obsessed with this new water bottle from X. And I'm like, all right, cool. Or like obsessed with this new coffee replacement type thing, or, and so I'm like, okay, good. All right. You're starting. We still got a long way of confidence to go because I see like you still hiding and being nervous. But so what I'll tell them is start posting things you don't like. Start now. Don't tag the company, but you're checking it. Like just get used to sharing your opinion. Because I see you
idea like the anti-influencer.
6 months from now, you've got a course that you're going to sell, or 6 months from now, you're going to make that leap and start selling links to like to know it or whatever. Start now, getting used to giving your opinion. Just checked in to the Four Seasons Minneapolis. I have not seen a lobby this gorgeous in forever. That's a good opinion. Great. You're sharing your opinion. Also, vice versa, like just checked into the Four Seasons and I don't know why this room is worth $600. Like you just start getting used to sharing your opinions on things. You don't need to do 6 a day, but 3 or 4 a week of just like this new flavor of bubbler slaps. Love it. That's all. And it doesn't, you don't, but then also being like, ew. Have you guys tried this new flavor of poppy? Like nasty. What are they thinking?
Or don't buy this sweatsuit on Amazon. It peeled after one wash.
Yes. Like so here's what happens. Here's the strategy of you are training people to trust your opinion on something. And that takes time because that's the step to getting authority is you have to train them. You have to train them to turn to you for opinions.
I Love that.
So you have to do it enough. You have to do it enough. But so many times they're like, oh, I don't show up until I'm selling something. And it's like, first of all, you haven't, air quotes, sold me a single thing for years. Like, why would I all of a sudden buy from you? You have to teach them, even when you're not an affiliate, to like, you're selling products, you're selling a flavor of bubbler while it's safe. Like, that's when it's safe and you don't have rejection. Do it then. But so often people are like, oh, I don't have enough people yet. I don't have a brand deal. I don't have an affiliate code. And so finally they get an affiliate code and they're like, hey, buy this water bottle. It's great. And and they feel so awkward about it. And so it's like, no, there is this beautiful progression of like, talk about your opinions. I liked this. I didn't like this. And then by the time you create an affiliate thing and you throw it up and it's like, hey, I like this thing and it's 40% off today. Sales.
Yeah, oh my gosh, I love that. Cause I was even sharing, there's this Gentle Guardian by Wild Holistic. It's this herbal tincture anyway, that I love. And I was like, I don't have a code, but here's this other chick's code. Like,
yeah.
And that story got literally about 7 times the amount of views as my normal stories.
Yes.
And it's like, you can do like, maybe eventually I'll have a code.
Maybe.
But like you said,
but what doesn't that set up a nice story? Like an authentic story? Because anybody who is selling to their audience and doing it well, they care that they're not just like sale bombing their people. So like if all of a sudden out of nowhere, Molly Cahill shows up selling a product and you're like, well, you haven't talked to me about this. Like, I don't know. I didn't even know you had this problem. Like you set it up. So people are like, oh, I know Molly has this problem because she's talking about this. And then like, she's trying other products and some of them are working and some are not. And then all of a sudden, a couple of months later, you show up like, I've tried hundreds of products. I've shown you 10 that have like been okay. This is the best one. And so I like it so much and has helped me so much that
I love that. That is such a good tip. Like that's going to be our little, to our editors, that's the real clip that needs to go on is what you said about there. But I've got 2 people I need to connect you with for your podcast who I think have done such a great job. Do you follow the Peachy Spoon Meredith Mann? Okay. She's a friend of mine, but she just started posting recipes on Instagram for like, maybe not, I don't even know how long. And then now she's got like 2 cookbooks, her own protein powder, and it's sold out immediately.
Yeah.
Because she just started like,
I know.
hey,
that's what I was talking about. This online personal brand. You've got chiropractors being like, please buy my thing. And she's like, here's a recipe. People want it. They know they need food.
And then Nate Fain is his name. He was on way early in my podcast. He's a mortgage lender.
Sexy.
I'm like, if you can make mortgage lending viral, which he does, like go back and listen to that episode of it. It's Nate Fain, way back in the beginning. He's like the mortgage guy or something like that. But he got really popular because he was a meme sharer. He did a daily meme dump. Okay. And so people would come to his account to see his memes because they were funny.
Yeah. How did he monetize that?
I'm telling you, he did. It's wild. Yeah. Mortgages. So I'm like, it can be done.
Did the memes have to do with mortgages?
No, he just became like the go-to guy people wanted to work with for their he's like licensed in all these states now because he had all this demand because he was like, well, mortgages are boring. So I'm at least going to go with someone fun to do my mortgage.
Interesting.
I'm telling you, you got to check it out. It can be done. But yeah. So, okay. Are you still, so this is going to come out pretty soon. Are you still enrolling? How does that work? Okay.
No, I'm not. And actually, I have a freebie though. I have a free download. No, I'm not enrolling. We will in April 21st, we will open up more spots in the program. Will this be out by then? Cool. And so there will be a certain number of spots because what I've learned is module 2 is like a big module that I need to help people through. Like it's where they find their niche and people think they have a niche. And they do not. And so it's requiring a lot of work. So I can only onboard so many people at a time because I need to make sure once we get over the niche thing, it's not easy, but they just need a lot less hand-holding from me. And so April 21st, I believe, I don't know. We're going to allow anywhere between 30 to 50 people in.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But when I open the program in March, we did 50 people in 2.5 days. And then I allowed another 10 in a couple weeks later, and that sold out in 2.5 hours. So I don't know how long. So, like Monday, April 21st, 9 a.m. Central Time is when we'll like open things. It could take a week to get to 50. It could take 2 or 3 days. I don't know. So make sure you're on the wait list, but you'll get on the wait list just by if you're interested in this topic. Like, I would definitely recommend grabbing the free download that I created to kind of help get people going on this niche content with the idea that by the time they come in the program, they're a little like more educated on a proper niche. And so you can get that by going to sheslayspodcast.com/niche. Niche. Do you say niche or niche?
I say niche. That's actually one of my most also highest viewed stories. It was a while back. I did a poll that was like, is it niche or niche? Like
the only time I'm actually going to steal that concept, not, I won't use that exact, but like that's a good hook of, or just like a funny thing. The only time I ever say niche is when I say the phrase, the riches are in the niches, bitches.
Yeah.
That's the only time I say niche. Otherwise I'm a niche girl.
Give us an example of a niche makeover you've done.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, okay. Hold on.
While you're finding that, I'm going to plug something I did that it's what I sent you on DMs and you were like, what are you showing me?
Yes. Talk about an ADHD brain over there. Like, honey, I'm not in the same conversation that you are. Like, you have to give me more context.
Well, sometimes we don't need any, you know how our brains work. Sometimes we need no context and sometimes we need all the context. But the pinned posts on Instagram, those are such a great way for people to come to your profile and immediately be like, oh, this person's for me or this person's not for me. So I've created like a free pinned post guide with
I love
Canva
that.
templates.
Yeah. What is that? Drop it here.
It's just mollycahill.com/pinned. So that way, like you said, once you help people find their niche, they can use these pinned posts because you have like 3 seconds when someone lands on your Instagram profile for them to be like, yes, this is for me. And if your pinned posts are dialed in, obviously your bio too, right? But also those top 3 posts are super important. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So because I'm running out of time here, this isn't like, so I'll give you the end result of 2 niches that we found. Basically, so like where a lot of them are starting is people will be like, I help successful female entrepreneurs thrive in business while still focusing on self care, nervous system regulation, and parenting. And I'm like, what the fuck did you just say? What? Like, that is not going to gain traction. Like, so Kirby said this, and I like need to get it on a t-shirt because it's hilarious. You help female entrepreneurs. Can you help Beyonce? Like, no? Okay, well, then you need to niche down more. Like, so it needs to be specific. Age, if you're helping a business, like, so here's the deal is like, for instance, advice gets more expensive as you are scaling, right? So, like, if you're going to hire a coach to get to $100,000 a year, that advice is going to be cheaper than somebody who wants to get to $1 million a year. And it's also going to be different. You have different bottlenecks in a business. It's also going to be cheaper and different advice than going from 7 figures to 8 figures in a year. You're going to pay a coach $100,000 a year, easy to get to 8 figures. And so what happens is if you're like trying to coach businesses and all you have these like vague statements, what's going to end up happening is like, you're going to have people coming in that are going to think like, oh, your products are too expensive. And it's like, no, you're too early. Like, you're too early in this. My products are perfectly for people who this is the right niche. They're like, yes, give it to me. Don't bat
an eyelash. Yeah.
Yes. And so that's part of the problem. Okay. So here's 2 niches that I love. Hopefully Tilly is okay with me saying this. I help coffee and carb obsessed moms regain their energy by killing candida and cravings in 44 days. That is a sexy niche, people. That is a sexy niche, right? Like it made you feel something, didn't it, Molly?
You see, I'm
Yes.
never speechless.
It made you feel something. When you are out there on the big wide internet, I have one more and then we can like
No, my husband was trying to leave me to go to lunch without me. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna feed me
go to lunch
too.
without me. All right,
Yeah.
one more niche. All right.
Although I'm gluten-free now, so can't have to be more.
Okay. I help new moms reclaim their energy after birth with spinal energetics and EFT tapping so they can navigate motherhood with ease and resilience. Now that one's not quite as specific, but like, so like, I don't think I told this person, I was like, I think that we're like 90% there that you can start testing it, but I think you'll continue to refine it a little more. But like, it's specific.
Yeah. Well, and like you said, test. I think people think their bio is like literally going to be etched in stone. I'm like,
oh, people want to get so kitschy. They want to get so kitschy with their niche. And I'm like, no, you should read it and be like, that is me. I need that. I need that.
I change my bio all the time. And you can poll your audience. Like the other day, I just literally polled, what word do you resonate more with? Clinic, practice, or health business? Because I don't know what words. Practice.
Yeah, I could see that.
By far. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to use the word clinic in my mark. Like I'll use practice. So you gotta pull.
Okay, I found one more, just one more example. Okay. Yeah, so this was a good, like half-baked niche, helping perimenopausal women prevent osteoporosis with strength, nutrition, and lifestyle strategies. Actually, on a surface, a good niche.
Yeah.
But we sexied it up by adding an age, and I encouraged her to swap out osteoporosis for bone loss. Oh, I help women in their 40s prevent bone loss.
Oh, I love
through
that.
blah, 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 blah. Like, so.
I love that.
All right. So yes. So what are our free downloads? So mine is sheslayspodcast.com/niche. You'll get a free checklist on helping you find your niche. You'll also automatically get entered probably into the wait list. So you'll get notified of that. And what's your pinned post one?
It's just mollycahill.com/pinned. And that pinned post one is also good for brick and mortar. Like even if you're not wanting to do, it's for anybody. I need to update my own on my page.
Yeah, I definitely do. I definitely do. Because I got, yeah. Okay, well, this was fun.
All right. Well, we talked about a lot, and
every time I come on, it ends up being more of
we should give them a prize for anybody who stuck around.
Nah, if you listen to She Slays, you're like, yeah, that's about right.
Well, mine are usually long guest episodes too, but I ordered our jammies, and I'll see you in
see you in San Diego, babe.
Yeah. All right. Love you.
Love you. Bye.